Hello and welcome to the lesson on osmosis. First of all, let's define what osmosis is. Osmosis is the net movement of water molecules from an area of high water potential to an area of low water potential through a partially permeable membrane. So what does this mean exactly? Well, osmosis is a form of diffusion of water molecules through the membrane. Water molecules are able to pass through both directions through the membrane. However, it travels overall in one direction, which is the net movement of water. This is because of the imbalance of the concentrations of water on either side of the membrane. Water molecules will try to move from an area of high water potential, which means there's a high concentration of water, to an area of low water potential, which means there's a low concentration of water. We say this is travelling down or along a concentration gradient, so this process doesn't require any extra energy, and we say it's passive. On the diagram, we notice that there are triangular shapes. These triangular shapes represent solute molecules such as sucrose, which are too big to fit through the spaces in the permeable membrane. The small circles represent water molecules, and they are able to pass through the membrane because they're small enough molecules. So how does this affect osmosis then? Well, imagine that the solutions on either side of the membrane are unequal. The water will try to move to an area of lower water potential. This would be the side that has more sugar in it. This is because the water and the sucrose will try to reach the same relative concentrations so that both sides will be equal concentration of solution. It's trying to achieve the same ratio of water to sugar on both sides. As the sucrose sugar is too large to go through the membrane, then the only thing that can happen is the water molecules will move instead. So we see on our diagram, I'm showing you that the water is going through the membrane, but the sucrose is not. It's trying to achieve the same ratio of sugar to water on both sides. This is why in certain structures like roots, water molecules will move from the soil to the tissues inside of the roots, where the water potential is lower because there is a higher concentration of sucrose. Another way of saying osmosis is the net movement of water molecules from an area of low solute concentration to an area of high solute concentration through a partially permeable membrane. This time, what we're doing is using the concentration of the solution to describe how much water there is. A low solute concentration or a low concentration of the solution simply means that there's a high amount of water, so there's a high water potential. Think of it this way. If a cup of tea has lots of sugar in it, we say that the solute concentration is high. This means that there's more sugar compared to water. On the other hand, if a cup of tea has very little sugar in it, then we say that the amount of water is high compared to the amount of sugar. So solute concentrations and water potential or water concentrations are always opposite to each other. So to summarise, osmosis is the net movement of water from an area of high water potential to an area of low water potential through a partially permeable membrane.